Do you feel stressed out, tired?
Do you feel like you need a break from this mad world?
Then this is the perfect wellness recipe for you.
A week where you can call the sea your home.
Welcome on board, guys. This is sailboat Carlotta and it's going to be our home for the next week.
It's a Bavaria 41, which means about 12 meters.
Let us show you around so you can see how we organized all of the spaces.
Let's show you the outside of the boat. Here's the cockpit with 2 wheels, a table which folds nicely, and then let's go up front. We have 2 sails and a nice rubber dinghy to take us ashore when we anchor. As a plus, there is a lot of space. Even if we are 5, this boat is plenty big to have a lot of fun.
Let's go inside now. So here we have the control station with all of those lights. All of our gear set out here nicely, super easy to reach. Then here's our cabin. Come along. Nice and cozy, our big bed. Here's a really long shelf. It's very typical of sailboats to have these edges on the shelves to prevent things from falling all over the place when the boat heels during navigation. We stuffed everything inside a wardrobe here. It's looking nice. Here is the bathroom right next to an identical cabin to ours. In here, we have the toilet together with the shower, which is right here, and a protective glass to avoid wetting everything. Toilets are a tricky thing in boats, not always pleasant, and especially very smelly. Here's our living room with the kitchen. We have a nice fridge in here full of fresh fruits and veggies. This is the cooking stove with the oven just beneath it and a nice sink. Everything's stored in all of these cabinets. Here's the living room with the table. I don't think we will be using it. And here finally is the last cabin with its own bathroom. Probably the prettiest one. It's a tight fit for 5 people, but we managed to stow everything away nicely. We really can't wait to leave the harbor tomorrow and start sailing. Good morning, guys! We just woke up from an amazing night here. This harbor is so quiet and peaceful, it barely felt like we were sleeping on a boat. And now we're here, we're planning what to do with our day.
Here we are in Porto Rosa. The goal is to reach Vulcano to have lunch and a nice swim midday.
And that's directly north of us, so we're going to be heading upwind all day, I think.
Then we are planning and hoping to get to Panarea by the night, so the rest of the week will flow nice and tightly.
We might get to sail 30 miles in total, so we really have to get going now.
Let's hoist the sail and go. So the nicest feature about this boat is this autopilot, where you have a ghost wheel taking control of the boat. Kind of.
A few moments later.
How are you feeling, baby?
Not well. I hope I will not puke. I will see.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Buon appetito! We're about to reach our destination for the night, which is Panarea, after a lot of sailing today.
We have been sailing for more than 6 hours at about 6 knots of speed, and it has been all upwind.
We had a lot of heel angle for most of the day, and especially inside the boat, really tough to handle if you're not used to it.
It can get also very fun. One of the best things for me, I love the lolling and the gentle movement of the boat with the waves.
But if you're like me this morning, feeling a little seasick, it can get really tough, because you know you have to get those hours in. Thankfully, the swim during lunch break really helped me, and the afternoon has been a lot better.
Most of the days won't be like this, but we really wanted to get a good head start. It's all about the navigation when you're sailing. It's all about enjoying the journey and not the destination, because you really get a lot of hours just looking at the sky and feeling the movement of the waves, just yourself and the nature surrounding you. So you get a lot of free time.
This video is the second episode of our sailing challenge.
It's all about learning to sail a big boat, sailing for many more miles, and just really living the life on board.
We want to find out with you if a week-long sailing trip is the perfect way to enjoy the Mediterranean.
It's not our first sailing experience. We usually sail every year, but this is the first time we're doing something like this together. It's been a very long day, so see you tomorrow, guys. The plan is to go and see the Stromboli volcano erupt, so that's going to be pretty cool.
After this lovely breakfast, we'll set sail, hopefully if the wind comes up, and visit some of the best parts of the Aeolian Islands.
So we're exploring the big rocks around the island of Panarea, which we've heard are really cool and the water is really blue. But particularly we've heard that around this area here there are supposed to be some gas bubbles coming out from the sea floor. So we really want to go and see if it's actually like that.
That was probably the best swim we've ever had. That was so amazing.
It was insane. I mean, I've never seen so many bubbles underwater. It felt like swimming inside of King Triton's castle. It was just a childhood dream. I don't know, it was so beautiful. Ready for a second swim today?
Hell yeah!
That was another amazing swim. The rock formations here are just really cool to look at, both from above water and from below. Now we are heading towards Stromboli, which you can see in the background here. Today has literally been a no-wind day. We have been moving around with the engine since this morning, but we have been lucky because it hasn't been too warm and the scenery has been really beautiful. We stationed ourselves right off the coast of Lasciara del Fuoco here at Stromboli, and we're waiting for it to give us a nice show. It really feels like we're at the cinema because all the boats are stationed next to us and we're all waiting.
Stromboli is the most active volcano in Europe, so we hope to see some cool stuff. Witnessed a huge eruption. We'll leave you a little bit of the original audio so you can hear our actual reaction because it was amazing. This is just about the most expensive and beautiful cinema you will ever find. So many boats here enjoying a lovely pasta. How good is the pasta?
Divine!
Time to hoist the sails and head back to Panarea for the night. This is also the perfect occasion for a frankly quite scary midnight swim with about 1,000 meters of water beneath me.
Good morning, guys. This morning we overslept it a little bit. It's way past 10 a.m. because of yesterday's late anchorage. We were so exhausted. We needed some rest.
But we're ready to explore the western Aeolian Islands. Let's hope there's enough wind to get there without turning the engine on.
We always decide where we go during the day and for the evening especially, based on the wind predictions and the weather conditions, because it's always important to find a bay where you don't rock and roll in your boat too long during the night because it can become very uncomfortable. So we have strong northwestern winds coming in this afternoon, and we are looking for somewhere to stay on the eastern coast just to be very safe and have a nice and easy sleep overnight.
We've only been at sea away from land for 2 days, and it feels like just about a month.
Yes.
It's been tough but fun, and today we're gonna do something very weird that you can do if you rent a sailboat, which is leave the sailboat and go on land. There's supposed to be a wonderful granita place here, and I'm feeling a little bit hungry, so let's go.
One of the definite discomforts of living on board is the fact that you have to always keep all your rubbish with you until you have the opportunity of getting into a harbor and taking everything off, but I guess it's worth it.
We're actually on the ground again, but we're not feeling land sickness.
Yeah, not really, not yet.
And the granita was perfect.
Exceptional, oh wow. And it feels so good because it's so hot here in Sicily, so it just really was so refreshing.
We're now gonna take a taxi across the island and hopefully have a nice sunset dinner.
Has been a really amazing evening. Tomorrow's supposed to be a very windy day, so we should get some good sailing. Let's hope so. Good night.
As you can hear, the Mistral has arrived, and that only means one thing: good sailing. We might give a reef to the main, depending on how good the wind is out there, but we'll definitely have some fun. Let's go inside and check if Mickey's as excited as I am. Hello. How did you sleep?
Could have been better. One thing is sure, if you're living on a sailboat, you are very much connected with everything around you, for the good and the bad. Tonight it was an orchestra of noises. The ropes banging against the mast, the wind, the waves, everything. It was so noisy. But yeah, all good.
And now the map. Right now we're measuring 18 knots northern wind. Venturi effect north to northwest, 13-15 knots. Head northeast. After a quiet grey morning, we checked the weather forecast for about the past few hours, and nothing good has come out. The waves are supposed to be pretty strong out there. The wind has not died down at all. The western Aeolian Islands are out of the question today. They're too far and too dangerous to reach. There are no spot to spend the night with this kind of weather. So we'll head east to Lipari. Should be good sailing at least. How's it going, Captain?
Pretty intense. I think that's an understatement. These are seriously the biggest waves I've ever sailed. It's way less wavy here than it was out there. That was intense, yes, that was very intense.
After a tough day like this, the main takeaway is the appreciation for all the sailors that have come here, that have been guided by the Stromboli volcano, that have sailed in much worse conditions than we have throughout thousands of years of history. It's just amazing to be in the same patch of sea that they were in. Morning, guys. Let me finish breakfast and I'll be right with you talking about comforts and discomforts of living on board. It's my first time ever living on a boat and my first time on a big sailboat, so I feel entitled to show you the discomforts. Let's take away the sailing part of the trip. Let's say that you're an experienced sailor or that you have a skipper with you dealing with the sailing part. The main problem, as you can see, it's the rocking and rolling. It's also the most obvious, which presents two main issues. One, it's the seasickness. If you feel it, it can be very unpleasant. And second is that everything you do on board is not still. So here the stove has a little rolling motion to keep it flat, but everything else slides on the counter, so that can be a very big problem. Yesterday we spilled a lot of tomato juice on the floor. The other two main issues, it's the small space available. For example, the fridge is very small, you can't fit too much in it. And electricity. You don't have electricity unless you leave the engine on all the time. Right now we're anchoring, so the engine is on, but except for maneuvers, we always have sails on. So you don't have unlimited batteries. That presents two main issues. One, it's again the fridge, because you can't keep it on. So the food you buy, you have to know that it lasts a little bit longer. And second, you can't charge your batteries, you can't charge your phones, you can't charge your laptop. Can you deal with that? That's your call. If you stay on the harbor, you can recharge the batteries full, but unless you do that or keep the engine running, you're on your own. This is the main panel where you can see how much water you have and how much electricity you have. Of course, for us living with a drone, computers and cameras, batteries can be a very big problem. If you rent the boat for a week, you don't need a laptop. With a normal power bank, you can do a week of phone batteries without a problem, so that shouldn't really be an issue. On this boat we have about 1,000 liters of water, so that's also not an issue unless you want to shower every 15 minutes, which is really not something you should do at sea. Overall, if you can get over the lack of amenities that you have on board, it can be such a pleasant experience. You can turn off your phone, you can turn off the world outside this boat and explore nature in a way that is just impossible otherwise. It's a perfect way to enjoy the Mediterranean and the perfect way to enjoy your summer. One thing you can definitely do while sailing a boat is moor it and go on an on-land adventure, and today we're doing that. Up this volcano right here. Now this is getting properly hot. Sun in the face. I just got a little bit of wind now, but I'm really sweaty.
What a really insane view, guys. I mean, I've never seen the ground smoke this way. It's just surreal.
But the smell is terrible. It's just terrible. We've been coughing for the last 20 minutes. I hope it's not deadly.
It smells of rotten eggs, sulfur from the volcanic activity around here.
The sunset has been amazing, and now we can't wait to head back down and have dinner.
Good morning, guys. It's our last day here on this beautiful sailboat. We do not want to get back to normal life. We are loving it here so much. Anyway, today we're going to go for a nice swim at the Faraglioni di Lipari, which are supposed to be beautiful. One more beautiful place here in Sicily. And then it's a long leg downwind back to Porto Rosa where we started.
After visiting the Faraglioni, we anchored in the closest bay to enjoy our last lunch on board, and we played around in the water. We then headed back, but before we were ready to say goodbye, the Aeolian Islands treated us with a wonderful parting gift, a hidden natural pool. Now it's actually time to head back. What a week. We can't wait for our next sailing adventure. So stick along, hit the like button, sailing style if you like the video. See you in the next one.
Ciao.